Good morning, Kristen. Our friends over at Group 4610 did a video asking what is the most frustrating thing you're seeing in the short sale process right now. And I'm going to answer that in a more general term. What's the most frustrating thing we're seeing in the real estate industry right now? And that is 100% banks and the government programs wasting our time, our buyers' time, our sellers' time, and everyone's time. Every time we sit down with a homeowner to talk about their short sale, what's the first thing we learn? Yeah, we tried to do a loan modification. We went through the process somewhere between 3 to 8 months, making payments, and then we were declined. When do we hear there was a successful loan modification? We don't hear it because it doesn't happen. All right, it happens 4 or 5%, whatever the national average is, but it doesn't happen that often. Real meaningful loan modification, which is fine. We can't blame them. They're losing a lot of money, and they don't want to lose as much money as they would lose if they end up doing these loan modifications. But don't pretend that there's a system in place to help these homeowners. Don't pretend that HAMP's gonna work. Don't pretend that HAFA's gonna work. All they are is delay tactics. Time for the banks to keep these properties off their books and not deal with the issues. You can't just blame the banks. The government put these programs into place, and they're a complete waste of time. They're wasting my time, they're wasting your time, they're wasting the homeowner's time, they're wasting everyone's time. And then on top of these programs wasting time, we have the banks just wasting our time. An example, I have a short sale right now with Chase where we had to fight them for a month on the value of the property. We knew they were right. They were just wasting our time trying to get more money out of us. And at the end of the day, a month later, they approved the price that we had the offer for. They could have saved a lot of time and a lot of money for everyone involved. They're wasting my time and they're wasting their own time. They could have got this property sold already, yet they're still sitting with it on their books as a non-performing asset. And then they send us a letter that reserves the right to come after our clients for deficiency. And I very nicely asked Chase to remove it and put in language that says they will release lien and liability for our client because that's what his lawyer is advising him to do. The negotiator's answer, I'm sorry, our investor doesn't allow us to do that. Well, who is your investor, Mr. Negotiator? Asking the question because we already know the answer. Well, I'm not allowed to release that information. But the thing is, I know it's Freddie Mac, and I know that Freddie Mac does release liability, especially in Arizona. We haven't had a problem with Freddie Mac releasing liability. So we asked him again very nicely to stop wasting our time. So what does Mr. Harvey end up doing? Negotiator calls us back. It starts berating me, saying that I'm wasting his time, that I should just escalate this, that he's just doing what he is told. I'm wasting his time? He's wasting my time by calling me and yelling at me. If he just put in a language that we know is going to be approved at the end, we would stop wasting everyone's time. But no, the banks have to be difficult, especially this bank. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to escalate it to Freddie Mac. We're going to get the language removed. And in about 2 weeks, I'm going to come back and do another video, say, see, we told you so. They wasted our time. So when it comes to the government programs like HAMP and HAFA, when it comes to dealing with difficult situations like Chase's with the short sale, everybody is wasting time, wasting money, wasting energy. We could get through a lot more houses a lot quicker and get this problem resolved much quicker if everyone would just cooperate and try to get these things done. So Kristen, if I had one request, it would be that these government programs would either A, fix these problems, or most likely B, just disappear so that the market could correct itself and we could deal with these problems on our own. And they need to tell the banks to stop messing around with these quote-unquote, our investor doesn't allow us to do that when we know the investor does. And Kristen, it's Labor Day. I hope you're doing as much as you can to take today off. I got a couple showings, but besides that, I'm going to try to do some relaxing, do some yard work. And everyone out there, I hope you have a great Labor Day. And Kristen, we'll see you tomorrow.